Shirobirivo Udvanmajjatangamburaso Plavaivo Tishitanam Swaduvarshivo Meghaha Nidhirivo Vidhananang Dirghatibramayanam Vishagiva Kushalang no Datum Maya Tushuri Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Like the sun flashing forth light unto one enshrouded in darkness, like the boat rescuing a person sinking in the sea, like the cloud showering forth its refreshing waters on the thirsty people, like the storehouse of wealth, removing the distress of the penniless, like the physician bringing relief to a person suffering from a long and painful disease. May you, O Lord of Lords, O Bhagavan, Krishna, come and grant us what is auspicious. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto us all. Welcome to all of you. After vacation, this is the beginning of this new session. No? So nice to see you all after a gap of some time. This is necessary. Sometimes gap is good. Now, our topic today, as Swami has told you already, doing our duties. Actually, the inspiration behind this topic is this. This month is dedicated to Bhagavan Krishna's birth anniversary. So Sri Krishna, the embodiment of duty. Sri Krishna, the embodiment of highest knowledge, highest wisdom, highest devotion. Sri Krishna, the ideal of humankind for the whole world, no? So you want to think about him, and moreover, thinking about him is one thing, but to follow him is more important. What we do, we love someone, we make him a god immediately and put him into our altar and put flowers at the feet. But we don't take their lessons, what they did. Most of the time it happens, no? So we love Christ. We can be adored in the altar or in the church, holy place you go. And we offer our salutation. But very few are there who come back and follow what Christ said. So similarly, Rama, Krishna, in Hinduism there are plenty of such appearances, divine appearances, who taught the whole humanity to come out of the sufferings of life, of being in the world and how to transcend these obstacles of life and to establish themselves in eternal blissful state. That has been given by him and by his life also. Sri Krishna's life is a unique example how to do the duty constantly, from birth to death, unceasingly. Whatever comes, take the challenge, face it, and then keep your smile intact. It's just a passing phase, just doing duty, good or bad, success or failure, unattached. Is it not a good policy? When Krishna was born, you know, he was born in a prison. So his dear uncle, very dear uncle, wanted to kill him. So from the very birth, and the moment he is born, that information should go to the king, so that he does not lose a moment to kill that baby, who may be his competent person, no, to fight. So now, from the birth is this struggle going on. But you see, Krishna always smiling in all situations. transcending the odds of life, facing all the brutal challenges which we think that in our life we are facing every day. So this is the very important aspect what we can learn from Bhagavan Krishna, from baby birth. When the baby was growing, the Kamsa is sending all his demons to kill the baby, find out where is that. And then when he played his childhood days of play, fun play with the gopis, we always glorify, gopis plays. And that's a wonderful days. That also in our life, that was wonderful days. When we were within 10, 11 years child, we have no responsibility. We played with everyone, no? That's the playful days. And Krishna is the same. Krishna was 12 years old when he left Vrindavan forever. All the gopis play is done by that time. Though we depict him as all young man. That's our imagination. But history says so. So now, he coming out and his uncle, loving uncle, what challenge? Oh, my nephew has come. Like, how strong is he? So he has to face with the state wrestler. Such a big guy, state wrestler, top of the country, no? And with a baby, 12 years boy, just to crash and kill. Then that failed. Then he thought, okay, let me do. Oh, he's strong. So with the elephant, one elephant and the baby, boy of 12 years boy, no? That was the challenge. Every moment, death, 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 death. But everywhere you find that everything is done, doing the duty, fighting whatever is to be done, smiling. That is the way we can learn how we work in our life. Take all the responsibilities, bitter or sour or sweet. But at the same time, can we keep our face smiling, sweet face, when it is sweet, when it is bitter, when it is pungent? Can we do that? That is the lesson, doing our duties. So we are celebrating this life of Krishna, and according to his teaching, what is the ultimate goal? How can we keep it? We have to think that this is not all. This play, this life's journey is always a confrontation of odd situations. No, we stood up. How we stood up? When we are babies, how we are walking now? We used to crawl like animals, no? With 4 legs. 2 feet, 2 legs, no? 2 hands. But we stood up. Gravitation was an obstacle. No, you cannot. We fell down, no? But falling down, crying and weeping is only crying and weeping, or is a success that we are standing now? So this is the point, that to find in infinite, that infinite reality, that infinite truth in the finite. To see that one absolute truth is an underlying principle. These are all little ripples and bubbles in the life's journey. Don't get frightened. Look at the focus. Focus your attention to the infinite, Ashim, unbounded, absolute truth. So, but we are normally, as we happen, we are all perplexed. We are perplexed because we think the spiritual life will be in the shrine room, in the meditation chamber, and when in prayerful mood, going to some church or mosque or somewhere. That is the spiritual life. And whole day what you are doing? Cooking, cleaning, office, driving, or whatever we do whole day, non-spiritual. So this is the great challenge before us, and we really don't like this grinding duties. What is this duty? This duty of life is very difficult, no? Duties are always, we want to be ideal person, you want to serve Come forward. Here is seats are there, many seats are there. So we must have to. The spiritual life versus our daily life is a big struggle. Big struggle is that it is, the duties are always not sweet. Mostly it is bitter. Mostly it is very difficult to handle. No? As Swamiji said, we have our duties. Son as a son, father as a father, mother as a mother, school teacher as a teacher, doctor as a doctor, engineer as an engineer. Everyone has a duty. Brahmin has a duty, a Brahminic work. Kshatriya, warrior. You don't like to kill, but order comes, kill. And you take that, boom, 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 boom. Huh? You let the bombs fall. You take a plane and just drop bombs. You are ordered, you have to do. Your hearts may say, no, 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 but no, you have to do. That's why it is called, we are perplexed at our day-to-day life's duties and the grinding duties. This is called, actually, it grinds us also. Can we find then an escape from this horrible slavery of duty? First of all, duty is ideally good. Krishna did that. But for us to do, very difficult. So, can we find an escape? Two ways are there. Don't do anything, then problem will not come. You don't drive in this freeway, so you need not have to face reckless drivers or some challenges which comes during driving. So, you don't go for any job, so there will be no conflict with your co-worker. Should we do that? We cannot. We'll have to live the life. We'll have to earn money. We'll have to be in the street. So, being in that condition, there is a way of escape. So, this we can escape. Actually, sometimes duty forces us to do something which I don't want. So, it is a horrible, horrible pull. And this performance of duty is sometimes slavery. Can perform one's duty lead us to God and God realization? Can it reach us perfection? It can find Satchidananda self also. Our life rotates around doing our duties and we get exhausted, frustrated, tired, sometimes lost in the depth of attachment. Our normal experience of life is like this. But Swami Vivekananda has beautifully said, the duty. What is duty? Duty becomes a disease with us. Sometimes we are overwhelmed with duties, no? One after another duty, but there is no meaning and purpose of it. Duties can be freeing us if we think in a proper way. I'll come to that point later on. But let us look at our everyday condition. We get up in the morning, no time, we'll have to get ready, and then run, and just go to the office and do things, whatever. Nowadays, don't go to the office, but work from the home. That is 24 hours duty. Anytime duty. Many people I see that midnight, daytime, there is no escape of duty. So, Swami Vivekananda says duty becomes a disease with us. It catches hold of us and makes our whole life miserable. It is the bane of human life, as it were. This duty, this idea of duty that I am to do, but there is no freedom. Is it not a slavery? Suppose it is freedom when you can do or don't do. But if someone goads you to do that, it is your duty, you have to do it, then what happens? It is no more freedom. You are a slave, you have to do it. Otherwise you cannot survive. So he says, this duty, This idea of duty is like a midday summer, such sin which scorches the innermost soul of mankind. That type of duty, when you are involved into it, it makes how to get out of that responsibility, that duty. As Arjuna was facing, no? Duty, I want to be rather free soul. Why to kill my own people? Own uncle, own nephew, own grandma, grandfather, all these people who are blood related. We have to kill in front of war. It's a duty. Krishna is forcing him. No, you will have to do your duty. You are a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means you are born in a warrior class. And because it is in your blood, that's why you have learned fighting from your childhood. You become a top warrior among the group of fighters, no? So now it is your duty for justice, for truth. You will have to fight. But how can I fight? That's why the Gita started, no? He said, I'm not going to do this fighting. Rather I'll be a wandering monk and beg my little food. I don't want kingdom. I don't want to be an emperor of India. But I can beg from door to door and eat little morsel of food and be happy. Duty. Duty is scorching and like a midday sun. That was the feeling Arjuna was going through. But Sri Krishna transformed it, that duty, into something else that we'll talk about later on. But duty in our life also, many of us here, you can feel, I don't want to do this slavery, this duty. I have no freedom and I am to do it and I am bound to do it, as if I have no escape. So, look at those poor slaves to duty. Those who do not know how to transform the duty in the perfect way or right way. For them, it is a slaves to duty. We are all slaves. Duty leaves them no time to say prayers, no time to bathe. Duty is ever on them. They go out and work. Duty on them. They come home and think of the work for the next day. Duty on them. It is living a slave's life and then leading the whole life like that. You see, one day we get retired from our job or work, or we become old and we cannot work anymore. No? And then what happens? That time also miserable. Whole life I have not got any time or chance to make my spiritual journey fructify. And duty, I don't want, but I have to go everywhere, in home front, outside, inside, all the time. A total frustration inside. And that's why he said, duty, it is living a slave's life. And at last what happens? Dropping down in the street and dying in harness like a horse. Working, boom, done. One day die. This is duty as it is understood, as we understand in our life. The only true duty is to be unattached and to work as free being. Do your duty, you are free. Detach. To give up all work unto God. That is the secret. Secret is that do your duty, good or bad, I am doing for God. And totally free yourself. That is called freedom. Doing duty and enjoying freedom. Otherwise it is really a slavery and slavery. That's why Swami Vivekananda quotes in another place, by doing our duty, we get rid of duty. And then only we feel everything as done by God. This is very important. Doing our duty, we get rid of duty. How can we go? We are doing the same duty, but we can get out of the duty. How? It is that then you know that when it is done for God only, you think that I have done. Good comes, it's not my responsibility, bad comes, but I have exhausted my whole energy, whole effort, and I am happy with that. We are but machines in His hand. This is the attitude. Drill yourself to be thoroughly submissive to God. Get rid of that small I, then you can get rid of the idea of duty. It's not doing for my sake. It's not I am doing for anything to gain here. It is I am only serving God, and seeing God then. As a result, as you serve God, what happens? You get the grace of God. And when the grace of God comes, all the darkness of the heart goes away and you feel illumination. So, get rid of that small I. Then you will get rid of this idea of duty, for everything belongs to Him, God. It is God's world, no? You are doing your gardening. Whose garden? You created the garden area. It is God's created. You now possessed and purchased, and now you say, this is my garden. It was not your garden before your birth, or before you are purchasing the plot of land you are now in. This is my house. It is not your house. You are being allowed to stay over there by God, and you work your whatever to maintain it, to do your duty to clean that house and maintain it. So every aspect of life can be made as a duty, but duty, freeing duty, without bringing our own small attachment. Duty is seldom sweet, but it is only when love, the very important point, only when love greases its wheels, that it runs smoothly. It is a continuous friction otherwise. If you remember these few words, no? It is a very beautiful word. Duty is seldom sweet. It is only when love greases it. I am doing this duty not for any other thing, out of love. Greatest example. A baby is born to a mom. What the baby can do for the mom? Baby does not give anything. It can cry and it can smile. These are two things. You do something or not do something, baby will do the same thing. But what you are doing as a mother, you can spend whole day, whole night to serve the baby, still you feel you are not done enough. You are not feeling the burden of slavery. It is not slavery, it is love greases its way. Suppose a loving relationship, first, better give an example, love at first sight. And then when it happens, you want to give anything to your friend, you feel blessed. You spend so much money, you don't care for it. Because love is the grease there. Same relationship come to a reality. After some time, it becomes something wrong, bitter. Can you not take your glass of water by yourself? You are asking me. Can you not do this thing for yourself? You are telling me, I am doing this much, you don't do that. Why it is coming? Work is not lessening, but attitude is changing. The grease of love dries out because it is not God's grease. Material grease, mundane grease, superficial grease. That's why it does not allow that joy to experience that joy. So this is very important point. We got it from here. Now, every duty is holy, and devotion to duty is the highest form of worship of God. Now, we are saying our slavery, it is bondage, it is bitter. But if that every duty can be transformed into this category, is holy. I am blessed that I am given this duty. I am blessed that I am given this work to do. With that attitude, it is holy, and devotion to duty is like worship. We go to the temple, we take flowers, we take mantra, we take sandal paste and offer it to God. This is also, you are in a computer, you are working something, you are designing something. It is your worship. It's a duty, but it is in worship. You are in a medical professional, you are watching, taking care of a patient. It says God, you are seeing the service to God. So it is a holy duty. You are blessed that you can serve God in human being. You can bring little smile in someone. You can give some solace to someone. Feel that I am blessed to do that. So, and this duty, as if I am worshipping a flower, worshipping with fruits and flowers in the temple, and this is your surgeon. With the surgery, with the tools of surgery, you are worshipping God. In our, we have centers. Ramakrishna Mission actually tries to follow this ideal. We have centers in northern part of India, no? Benares. We have Kankhal. There, one day, actually, our head Swami in charge of the center with other Swamis, will come to each patient. That day, they will be given fresh clothing and other things. And after that, the head Swami will touch the feet of everyone, wave incense and wave light, etc. And give food and everything, as we give in the temple, thinking it is living God. It is a joy that I am blessed to serve this patient. God Narayana has come in this form before me. And this is the duty. And duty, same duty. It is only no grease of love. It is my duty. My duty ends at this time. Next man has not come. My anger starts fomenting here, no? And the duty I have done, I came in time and I'm doing so much work. And some patient asks, you have no time to listen to them because you have generated no idea of worship idea. So this is the great idea that whatever in holy duty is holy, and devotion to duty is the highest form of worship of God. If we go back to Bhagavad Gita, because I started with Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita says that in India, if you go, and in all the people criticize India, there are caste system. Caste system is bad. Which country has no caste system? A caste system means in India there's very scientific caste system. But scientific thing always becomes unscientific afterwards. Because if you don't follow the principle. Caste system means you are born in a family. Say you have a musical person. You want to learn music. You are born in a musical environment. Your mom, dad, they are all interested in that and they play themselves, they sing themselves. You are born in that family, no? Now, if you practice your music, how quickly you will do it, adapt it. But suppose I am born in the same family, but I am not interested in music at all. And I become a musician, so I glorify my name with my father's name, mom's name, no? What will be the end result? Similarly, a Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. See, any ideal country, to be ideal, these four forces of the system, in the system there should be these four forces. One will be Brahmin, who will be highly spiritual, who will know the scriptures, they will study it, and they have a perspective of detachment, and they live that life for God realization. And that Brahminic quality of studying the scriptures, discussing the scriptures with others, leading a pure life of purity, etc., etc. Bhagavad Gita says, Chatur Varnang Maya system. I have created these 4 Varnas. Brahmin, this quality, whereas the spiritual people more spiritual even, they don't make money, they don't have good houses, they have to go on fighting. That nature is Sattvic nature. So, Brahman, Kshatriya, the warrior class. Every country must have military force to protect their interests, no? Otherwise, what will happen? All what has happened to India for hundreds and hundreds of years, no? It will be militarily weak, so others will attack and do their own stealing and taking away all the wealth and prosperity of this. And rule over you. You are a slave country. Warrior. Second, third is, there should be good business. That country does not progress unless there is good business with the other countries. So there will be some people who are skillful in doing business. And there will be some people, all are like that, and there is no person to work in the physical level. Say, builders, road makers, no? All these people, suppose they are not there, where will you live? Where will be your house? Where will be your car? Where will be your road? So construction people and others, no? It's called Shudra. Every society, every country, developed country or developing country must have these 4 assets. But if anyone is losing this, it's not ideal. When there is an ideology to control, in ancient India, the Brahmins were in the top. The kings were the next warrior class. They used to get ideal instruction how to run. If any problem, they used to go for wise counseling from the Brahmins. Then they have the good business class people and the workers. So these are the 4 classes. And how it is made? God says, I have created how? Not that Brahmin's son will be a Brahmin. If father was a renowned, noble laureate, his son may be a good in architectural engineering, or maybe good in doing business. He may not be at all interested in teaching profession. That's the mistake. Brahmin's son becoming Brahmin is the problem. The warrior's son is warrior, he also warrior, that's the problem. Father was a big warrior, but the son, he is not interested and he didn't love anything, and put him into the fight. What will happen? It is against his own desire, against the social norm, and he will not be successful there, and disgruntled way they will do the work. So God says that I have created this 4 caste according to their guna, means quality, and karma, what type of work they prefer, their tendencies. Guna, karma, vibhagasu. And you see, I am the creator of them. Tasya karta, I am the creator of them. But see, I don't do anything. That is sun. Sun does not do anything. From morning, see, the sun is controlling everything. God is like that. God does not come and tell you, hey, you do this. But sun comes up and you say, oh, it is 10 o'clock. Oh, I'll have this appointment. Oh, 11 o'clock. Oh, I'll have to do this lecture. Oh, 12 o'clock. We'll have to run for another appointment. So, sun is telling you anything to do. But sun is just present. And all the duties, everyone is running after their own duties. Everyone, doctor, engineer, so to businessman, to construction people, to ordinary people, household people, those who are cooking, those who are cleaning internally, wherever, the whole is controlled by this force like the sun controlling. Is an example. So God controls. He says, I created everything, but I am detached like the sun. Things happen. Principle is going on. Know me that I am that absolute non-doer. And I have divided the whole class of society in Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vishang, Shudranancha Parantapa. I have created Brahmin group, Kshatriya, the warrior group, Bishang, Vaishya, the business class group, Shudra, the working class people. Karmani pravibhaktani. I have divided it according to their karma. It has been divided. How? Not because you are born in a particular family, you will be honored like that. No. It is svabhava prabhavai gunai. By their intrinsic nature. You give freedom to, when education becomes very free, that means you give intrinsic value to the freedom to the student. Student, what he wants to learn. No? In India, of course, you do not know. India, we all learn because my father wants to be engineer. So we are forced to go for engineering. Father wants you to be a doctor. Okay, you have to be a doctor, whether you like it or not. But now in this country, you see, everyone has freedom to choose what they want, no? That gives you freedom to move in your journey. So according to their guna, the characteristic quality, and karma, I have divided like that. And Brahmana will do, what is the Brahminic duty? Shama, internal control, sense control, dhamma, tapa, austerity, shaucham, purity of mind and body, shanti, the sense of forgiveness, arjavam, simplicity of their life, etc. And also knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge, intellectual knowledge, and also wisdom. Jnano, Vijnanam, and Astikyam. God is there. They rely on God, live their life centered in God. These are the Brahma Karma Svabhavajam. If you find anyone, he is a Brahmin. In our tradition, this Ramakrishna order, we don't consider a boy is born in which category, which family, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya. No. But you have these characteristics. You love God. You want to dedicate your life for the good of others. You want to realize God yourself and be a source of love, giving some sacrifice to others. Come, it is this for you. You are a Brahmin. You are a sannyasi. No other quality. You are born in a Christian family, or you are in Muslim family, or you are in Brahmin family, or in the labor class family, or business class, with no consideration. That's the ideal. God, Krishna said this, Ramakrishna came in this age, and Vivekananda formulated this as a practical reality. This is the doing the duty, get out of the duty. You born like that, you are born as Brahmin, therefore you always study scripture, lead a pure life, think of the good of others, all the quality, self-control, control of the senses, do austerity, be forgiveful, lead a simple life, and also knowledge, jnana and vijnana. Know knowledge, intellectual, and realize the truth, vijnana. Astik and God is there. That will be the guiding force of life. So this is called the Brahmin. And then Shaurjam, the valor, teja, power, and dhriti, enduring capacity, holding on, expert in war, fight for the justice and good. And he will be ideal that I will control the evil, and in the society I will rule the country. This type of attitude, they are fit for this Kshatriya warrior class. And Krishi, Gaurajya, Varijyam, business, doing animal rearing and agriculture, all this type, and building, etc., etc. This is the Vaishya. These are the Vaishya karma. Doing business and keeping landed property, producing fruits and vegetables, etc. These are all business people do. No? Sell. Yeah. And fourth, that is called the Shudra. What is that? They are service to society in their way, in construction, in building up something and doing something like that. So now the question is that Gita does not say Brahmin are higher, this is lower. With society we make a different class, no? If someone speaks here, he's a professor coming from university, we say, oh, he's a professor, no? Still in our mind, we are so liberal, but still in our mind, oh, he's a professor. And who is coming? Oh, he is a businessman. Businessman. Businessman is good and business-wise. Professor is professor. Medical professional is medical professional. Each is great in his own place. That was the teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Each is. You need not have to mold your life to be a Brahmin. You be a businessman, through your business you can realize God. You are a builder, you do your building work with proper attitude and realize God from there. It does not depend on that we have to all be converted into another class of people. That is the beauty of this duty idea. How to perform? You do your duty as you are habituated with your tendencies, the Brahminic, Kshatriya, or warrior, business, or the labor class, or serving class. Whatever you do, these are all paths to realization if you do it proper spirit. So there is no, each is great in his own place, each is needed in an ideal and perfect society. And that country, that nation becomes ideal, powerful, where all the four classes of people can manifest their highest potential through his discharge of the duties. But duties will be, everyone will be bored after some time unless there is a grease as we have talked about. And what is that grease? Taken one step ahead, doing these duties. If these duties are performed with the spirit of service to God, then God realization, self-knowledge or Brahma-jnana can be reached here and now. Given an example, I will give few examples. You need not be a Brahmin. Say, there is in Hinduism it said, don't do harm to anyone, non-injury, ahimsa. So, you go to a butcher, you will say, hey, my God, what, he's a butcher? And he has any spirituality? So, there is a story, Ramakrishna said so one yogi, one great yogi, he was doing austerity and spiritual practice. So, one day he was sitting under a tree, and a crow came flying and dropped. And innocently the crow had some dropping. And dropping fell on his body or somewhere. And the yogi was so angry. So angrily looked at the crow. And instantly the crow burnt into ashes. So he thought, I have become a great yogi. I am a great yogi because my glance, even angry glance, can kill one crow. Anyhow, after that, he became very proud and then went on. and went to, beg. He's begging from house to house. So he went into one house and knocked the door and asked for something. But one lady from the inside said, Sir, please wait. I am serving my husband. When I finish it, I am coming. But the yogi said, I am a great yogi and she is not giving attention to me to give a little morsel of food. She is so great. And she asked me to wait. So he was commenting in his arrogance and ego. Then what happened? That lady from the inside said, Sir, it is not like you are burning a crow or anything. I am doing my service duty to my husband. Then yogi got back to his senses. Hey, how could she know that I looked at a crow and the crow was burned? How that message come to him? Her. And then he was a little humbled and then waited. And he waited for a long time when the duty, after finishing the duty, when the lady came back and then said, served very humbly and gave food offering and everything. Then he said, I don't want food. I want to know that how you know that I have did some burning of a crow who sat on my meditation place. How do you know? She said, I do not know anything of your spirituality. I do my duties. My ailing husband, I take care of him and do my duties to the fullest extent. And I do not know. It spontaneously came into my mind. Then you are my guru. Give me my lesson. She said, no. I cannot give you lesson. You go to another place. She forwarded the case to another guru. And that guru was and she said, there is a butcher in that shopping place. You go and he can teach you Vedanta. Vedanta from a butcher? Most of the people will say Hinduism means vegetarianism. And you are not only vegetarian, non-veg, and non-veg is butcher who is killing the animals and selling. Anyhow, so he has got great respect for the lady. So saluted her and went to that and found out that person. And he saw that is smeared with blood and this and chopping the flesh and then weighing how much and selling this and taking money and this and that. And he was thinking mentally, this will be teaching me Vedanta. What type of person is this? Okay, but patiently waited. And he finished his business, washed his hand and then closed the shop and then came back. Well, come with me. And then he came back and then he served his father, doing the duty of a butcher's duty, doing the duty of his father parents. And after that, then he attended to them. And then he asked the question, how do you know? And then he said, oh, that lady has sent you. How he knows that lady has sent it? He said that, oh, that I do not know. I do this butcher's duty and I take care of my mom and dad. I do my duty and that is the way I learned. Then he said, wow. And then he put the questions. And that is a beautiful book you can go and purchase. Vyadho Gita. The Gita told by a hunter. Butcher Gita. But his name is Vyadho Gita. So one of the greatest book in Vedanta. And that was the advice given to a yogi by a butcher. If you go to the Upanishads, plenty of examples are there. That Brahmin boy is going to a ruler, a king, asking, give me the wisdom of knowledge, and they are giving. A lady giving the wisdom to the others. It is not necessary. Society has created later on this confusion. You do your duty perfectly, thinking that you are serving God in whatever way. What is your duty? Do that and smilingly. I perform my duty. I am happy. Result, good. The butcher killing the animal, bad karma. It's my nature. What shall I do? And people will eat. I will have to cut it and someone will sell it. But I am born in that culture and it's my tendency. I don't feel it bad. So I am doing my duty, but I am doing for serving the society. That can also be brought into a good spirit. It is service to the society. Those people who want this, they will be happy for their purpose. And I am doing things for my mom and dad to maintain them, to sustain them, and all this duty doing for God. And that comes, we conclude, another 5 minutes are there. Gita's best verse which we can remember, that 2 verses of 18th chapter, 45 and 46, are the greatest wisdom we can get it from there. This what I have talked about, that has been in brief mentioned here. Shve karmani abhirata sangshiddhing labhate naraha. Shve means one's own. Shve karmani, the activities you are ingrained in your normal tendency, whatever you have. You need not have to change anything. Keep your tendency, keep your way. Only think that Abhirato Sangshiddhing Labhatena. If you continue that way and do your duties, then you will leave the Sangshiddhi means Siddhi means success. Absolute success you will attain. Sakarma Nirato. You should be engaging in your own natural tendency-wise karma, in that Nirata, Siddhing. The success, how you will arrive? Bindati Tatsrinu, I am telling you. What is that? That is the highest Vedantic philosophy. That Yata Pravittir Bhutani Yena Sarvamidam Tatam Swakarmana Tamabharcha Siddhing Bindati Manavaha. Yataha, from which? That absolute Brahman, Satchidananda Brahman, all these pravitti, tendencies of the Bhutanam, of the created being comes. And Jena, by whom? Sarvam idam. All this universe, gross, subtle, causal, stars, galaxies, wherever you go, space, everything is permeated by that reality that is the absolute Brahman. Tam sarvam idam tatam is pervaded everything. Swakarmana tam abharcha. You should worship that reality which is the source and substratum of all existence. It's cats, dogs, animals, humans, subhuman, trees, plants, whatever you do, you serve anything, you are serving the Lord Himself through these diverse types of appearances. If you can do swakarmana, by your own karma, whatever may be your tendency, do that way, then siddhing bindati, you will attain full success, means realization of that absolute. What a beautiful idea, no? Only to think that you are serving whom? Our eyes are blocked due to ignorance. I am serving you as a human being. I do so much for you, but you don't remember me, or you don't recognize me. Or they say, I am not taken care of. But the question is that if you think, I have served God only, and what the person is telling, person is God plus his mind. We listen to the mind. We listen to the body expression. But we do not see who is behind the body and mind acting. I am serving Him, the Lord, the God, the all-pervaded consciousness and bliss. So this is our duty. Thank you all.